Kirby is one of Nintendo's long-lasting franchises that really enjoys taking the same formula and innovating on it in new and interesting ways. Kirby games are typically aimed more towards a younger audience than compared to other core first-party series. Because of that, the franchise lacks a real challenge, but the low difficulty doesn't hinder the fun the series provides. With Kirby Star Allies, all this still applies. For this game in particular, it's all about the new friendship mechanic. Recruiting a variety of enemies to help along your journey, similar to Kirby Superstar, but instead of only having one friend, you're able to have up to 3 other allies that all play a particular role in finding hidden areas throughout the level, along with taking out baddies. The real mix-up here is now there's a new feature that allows combining different abilities that can increase your attack power, unleash powerful blows, and solve puzzles. For example, if Kirby has the Blade Knight sword ability, you can enhance it with the Burning Leo enemy if you have them as an ally. And just like that, you have a flaming sword. This also works with the allies in your party and with other weapons and elemental abilities, with plenty of combinations to try out. Before I get into the game, I have to compliment on how absolutely gorgeous this game looks in the cutscenes and in-game. Other than that, Kirby Star Allies starts off with a neat little cutscene that pretty much sets up the game's story and how Kirby can now befriend old foes. After the cutscene, it lets you jump right into the game that features an explorable overworld similar to Yoshi's Woolly World. I played Kirby Star Allies in handheld mode and on a 4K television, and I have to admit, it looks phenomenal on both. The game recently received a lot of criticism because the gameplay is in 30 frames per second. While I understand where people are coming from, the game's lush presentation and stylish words are very impressive, even at 30 FPS. In other words, the game is eye candy from start to finish. When initially jumping into the ally system of Star Allies, I was not a huge fan. My main issue was with how easy the allies made the game for me. If I had all 3 allies, I could sit in the back in a boss fight and not have to do a single thing and they would beat the boss for me. While in later levels, I may have to revive an ally once or twice. So to make things a little more difficult, I would only have one ally with me and only picking up others if they are needed to solve puzzles, which was actually pretty often. I get that this game is meant for a younger audience, but some inclusion of a difficulty mode would have been appreciated by older fans of the franchise. There is a multiplayer feature that allows friends to join in the game and control one of the allies. The drop-in, drop-out co-op system works seamlessly without interrupting the game. Although this feature isn't new to the Kirby series, it does make the game a lot more enjoyable when playing with friends. As for level design, unfortunately I wasn't blown away by anything in particular. There are 4 main worlds to explore, 2 that are familiar and 2 that are new. There's Dreamland and Planet Popstar, which most fans of the series will recognize. Then there's the Jam Bastion Fortress Shadow, a darker castle-like area, and the far-flung Starlight Heroes area, which is a series of small planets in deep space. Each area has their own look to them, but function like any other area in the game. All levels are populated by many familiar foes and new enemies that can be utilized to get through the level and to solve puzzles. Speaking of puzzles, like the rest of the game, they are incredibly simple and don't take a whole lot of brainpower to figure out. There was maybe once or twice that I actually got stumped as to what I was supposed to do, but then I figured it out right afterwards. There's also a new slew of collectibles in Kirby Star Allies, mostly puzzle pieces that can be used to make a cute picture once you've collected enough. Every level has a special puzzle piece that is hidden throughout it, and some levels have a hidden button that when pressed unlocks a new level in the game. If you're like me and you have to collect everything that the level has to offer, then there's good news. In the overworld, you're able to check out what each level has to collect and what you have or haven't already collected. Unlike other games that have collectibles like this, I never felt like I wanted to go back and find the things that I've missed, which is unfortunate. Although with that being said, there is still replay value to this game, whether it's to collect things that you may have missed or just to finish a puzzle piece for your collection. I cannot stress this enough. Do not go into this game thinking it's the Breath of the Wilds or Mario Odyssey for the Kirby franchise. That's what I was hoping for, and I was a little let down when I got more into the game. Also keep in mind that this game was meant to be an introduction to platformers for kids, but hardcore fans of the game will very much enjoy it as well. With all that aside, at its core, Kirby Star Allies is just another Kirby game with a fresh coat of paint and slightly different mechanics from the Kirby games of the past. It's a step up in quality and graphics, but can be far too simple for older fans and doesn't provide a way to change the difficulty setting. The co-op feature is certainly a plus, but the game doesn't leave me itching to go back and play more. I wouldn't consider Kirby Star Allies a must-play game, but it is certainly an enjoyable title if you want to have a casual gaming experience or just play with your kids. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.